So I hope all those who are present have written their names. So those who joined later, see they do write their names. Aisha, Almas, Umera, Raujani, Sania, Vimani, Sakina. All these have written their names. Okay, Madhuvani, Sakina. So it has been long time. I think it was 6th of October when we had started a new lesson in grammar. Could you tell me the name of the lesson? If you remember after so long time, it is good. Which lesson number? What was the name of the lesson? We had left in between. Any idea? Let me see if how sharp your memory is. Lesson number, lesson name, at least. Anyone? So I gave you the date. It was 6th of October when we had started the new lesson in grammar. I am just asking for the name of the lesson. Anyone? So if you don't remember the name, how should I expect you to remember the 4 exercises that we have done in the lesson? I'll give you some hint. Can, could, be, might, shall, should. Now do you remember the name of the lesson? No one. So what is the name of the lesson that we were doing? See over here. Verbs. Lesson 8 we had started, if you remember. Yes or no? Or still don't you don't remember? All this we had done. The helping verbs.
Yes.
Seen order exercise 4 we had done lastly. Do you remember or not?
Yes, sir, we remember.
Why will anyone want to harm you? The last blank in the lesson we had done. I hope you have recalled it. Now we shall continue because this is what we had left in between. It was on 6th of October, maybe 5th or 6th of October. You can just, if you want to revise, you can watch the video. The link will be there in your group. So it was on that date that we had learned this. Now we'll continue. So the next page, those who have the textbook, they can open it to page 40. Others can just look on the screen. Transitive and intransitive verbs. This is the concept we'll study today. Transitive and intransitive verbs. And this lesson number 8, verbs, it will be there in your next exam, also in the final exam. So understand properly. So I want someone to read.
Can I read, sir?
Okay, for now, Aisha, you can start reading. Then others will get chance.
What is difference between a transitive and a intransitive verb? The transitive verbs and intransitive verbs are action verbs, but intransitive verbs do not have a direct object.
So transitive and intransitive both are action verbs. Remember one thing, intransitive verbs do not have object. I think you have learnt about this before, otherwise you can understand it now. Transitive verbs have an object. Intransitive verbs do not have an object. Now, how will you find object in a sentence? Can anyone tell me? How will you find an object in the sentence? Haven't you learnt about subject, verb, and object? Haven't you learned about subject, verb, and object? If I give you a sentence, can't you tell me what is the subject, verb, and object in that sentence? Can you? Should I give you a sentence? Will you tell me? Subject, verb, and object in that sentence.
Okay.
For example, I am playing Ludo. What is subject, verb, and object?
Playing is subject.
Playing. Playing is an action word.
The ma- uh,
Yes, Madhvani, what did you say?
I am is the subject.
Yes,
Ludo is
I.
the object.
Very good. I is subject because I am doing an action of playing. Playing is verb. Subject, verb, and object is Ludo, as she said. Okay, but how did you find out object? You know Ludo is object, but in all the sentences, what is the trick to find out object? The trick is you have to ask the question what. WHAT, what? And one more question is whom. WHOM, what and whom. When you ask this question what, you will get direct object. When you ask the question whom, you will get indirect object. So which kind of object is Ludo in that sentence? Is it direct object or indirect object?
What?
In the sentence which I just spoke, what kind of object is Ludo? Is it direct or indirect?
Direct.
Direct. Because you have to ask the question what? I am playing what? So the answer is Ludo. I am playing whom? With whom? There is no answer. So indirect object is not there in the sentence. So that is how you will find object. If object is not there in the sentence at all, direct object or indirect object, both are not there, then it is called intransitive verb. But if direct object or indirect object is there in the sentence, it is called transitive verb. Now, did you understand the difference between these two?
Yes.
Okay, continue. Yes, Sarah, any questions?
No, sir, no questions.
Okay. Aisha, you want to continue?
Yes, sir. Some example of intransitive verbs. The children arrived last night. No direct object.
See, the children arrived last night. The children is subject. Arrived means to come. That is verb. Is there any object? Ask the question what? Ask the question whom to the verb. Is there any object? No. So arrived is intransitive verb. When you ask the question, the children arrived what? The children arrived whom? There is no answer. So object is not given, and that's why arrived is intransitive verb. If you have any questions, you can ask. Continue.
Okay. Some example. A little boy cried for 20 minutes. No direct object.
So same way, cried is also intransitive verb because there is no object. The little boy cried what? The little boy cried whom? There is no answer. There are no answers to these two questions. So cried is intransitive verb.
We left at 3 o'clock. No direct
So
object.
again, no object. Verb is left, but object is not there.
Note. Some verbs are always intransitive. Some verbs are always intransitive. For example, arrive, lie, sneeze, depart, die, etc.
So these are the examples of intransitive verbs. When these verbs are used in the sentences, there will be no objects. And so this kind of verbs are called intransitive verbs.
Note. Some verbs can be transitive or intransitive. Number 1. He always eats at 5:30 in the morning. Number 2. He ate all the hot dogs.
Right. So same verb is used. See what is the verb in the first sentence? Eats. In the second sentence, the verb is eat. Eat and ate. Both are the same words, but in the first one and in the second one, what is the difference? Which one is transitive and which one is intransitive? Who will tell me? In the first sentence, the verb is eats. In the second sentence, the verb is ate. Which verb is transitive and which verb is intransitive? I want an answer.
Number 1 is intransitive and number 2 is transitive.
Very good. Now, can you tell me the reason?
Because when we in second sentence we can ask that what he ate. We get answer hot dog. And first one we can ask but we don't give any answer.
Excellent. So that is perfect answer. In the second sentence, when you ask, he ate what? Or what did he eat? Answer is hot dogs. So that is transitive verb because object is given hot dogs. In the first sentence, he always eats what? No answer. 5:30 in the morning, that is time. But what does he eat is not given, or whom, with whom or whom, that is also not given. So that is intransitive. So very good answer given. So example number 2. Yes, read this too.
Some verbs can be transitive or intransitive. Number 1, I always study in the morning. Number 2, I always study English in the morning.
Right. So now someone else, I want you to give the answer. What is the verb in the first sentence and in the second sentence? And which one is transitive and which one is intransitive? Anyone else except for Aisha? Or should I assume that only Aisha has understood the concept? Is there anyone? Which is intransitive and which is transitive verb in these two sentences? No one?
Uh,
First one is intransitive and second one is transitive.
Okay. But where is the object?
Um, uh, in in second sentence, what did I study? I studied English.
Yes. Good. So correct answer. In the second one, we get an object. English. In the first one, we don't have any object. In both the sentences, the verbs are the same. Study. Okay. For this, now you can take screenshot. This is important. I will read. As I was teaching you, the same thing is written over here. Remember, an easy way to figure out if the verb is transitive or intransitive is to find the subject and the verb and ask what or whom. When you ask the question what, you will get direct object. When you ask the question whom, you will get indirect object. And if object is there in the sentence, it is transitive verb. Otherwise, it is intransitive. But first of all, you will find out the verb in the sentence. So, is it clear till here or any doubts?
Clear.
See that you have to remember these lines which are written over here. So, as I said, if you can not answer the question, the verb is intransitive. If you do not get answer for what or whom, then the verb is intransitive because there is no object. Now, let's practice. You have to tell me whether the given verbs are transitive or intransitive. So, how many of you will answer?
I
How
will
many
answer.
of how many of you are listening? Aisha, then
I will also.
okay, Ravjani. Then what about others? Madhwani, Bimani, K.S. Gabru. How are you? Sakina, Gabrani. Are you there? Gabrani, Sakina. So tell me the answer now. Not more than 10 seconds.
Sir, can I?
Yes, you can give the answer without asking.
Trans.
Intransitive.
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 Okay. So you can check the answer. It is correct. There is no object. You cannot get the answer for what or whom. Here the verb is underlined. But in the textbook, you have to tell me the verb is underlined. The net connection is slower. Yes. Number two.
Indirect. Sorry. Intransitive.
Okay. Anyone else?
Intransitive.
Intransitive.
Intransitive. All of you are saying intransitive. So it would be correct. Number three.
Transitive.
Transitive.
Trans.
Okay. How can you say that it is transitive? The children walked what? What answer is not given. Where did they go or how many miles, that answers are given. What or whom का आंसर कहाँ दिया है? Still do you say it is transitive?
No.
So I think you got your mistake. Number 4.
Intransitive.
What about others? Others are blank. Within 10 seconds, only one girl is giving the answers.
Intransitive.
Okay, 2 of you said intransitive. Are you sure? If I ask the question, what? Won't I get an answer over here? Yes, Bhimani? Diraya. Who's this? Will give the answer now. If I ask, I put what?
Purse.
So, which kind of verb is it?
Transitive.
Transitive.
Transitive, of course. I put what? My purse. So, direct object is there, so it is transitive. See? Number 5. Now, 3 verbs are there in number 5. So, tell me one by one. Means all the 3 answers you will tell me in sequence. For example, transitive, transitive, transitive. Means whatever it is, you will tell me in sequence. My hopes for picnic died when I looked outside and saw the cloudy sky. Let me see who gets all the 3 answers correct. Write it in the chat box. In short, you can write transitive T, intransitive I. Use T for transitive and I for intransitive. Put comma in between and write all the 3 answers. Let me see who gets correct. But all the 3 are not same. Let me tell you. Some can be transitive, some can be intransitive also. Aisha has written TIT. Anyone else? Within 10 seconds I said. Okay, Bhimani has written TIT as well. Almas. Rajani has written ITT. Let's see who gets it correct. So, I'm sorry, but none of you is correct. It is IIT. Why? For example, first one. My hopes for a picnic died. What? Whom? No answer. It is intransitive. I looked what? Where is given. I looked where? Outside, but we don't have to ask the question where. We have to ask the question what or whom. So in the second also we don't get answer for what or whom. I looked what? I looked whom? No answer. So intransitive. The third one. I saw what? I saw the sky or the cloudy sky. So it is transitive. Any doubt over here?
No.
Next, two are given. Now you could tell me orally.
First one is intransitive and second one is transitive.
Okay. I sneeze what or whom? Not given. I come what or whom? So are you sure the second one is transitive?
Yes.
Both are intransitive. Where did you make mistake? Rajani has written. Correct. I sneeze what or whom? Not given. I come what or whom? Not given. I come where? Then you get the answer. But you cannot ask the question where. It shows the place near your cat, but we don't have to ask the question where. So be careful before you give the answer. Quickly now. Next. Ask the question what or whom. What or whom.
Intransitive.
Okay. Good. Next.
Transitive.
Good. You are getting better at these verbs. 9.
Transitive.
Intransitive.
Here you have to ask the question whom. I visit whom? My grandmother. So indirect object is given. Answer of what is not given, but answer of whom is given. I visit. Whom do I visit? My grandmother. Then dropped off. Here it is only one word, though you can see two underlines, but it is together. Dropped off.
Intransitive.
Dropped dropped off means to drop someone. Pick up and drop. Dropped whom? Dropped
Intransitive.
me. Indirect object है ना? Means which kind of verb?
Intransitive.
You are not getting my point. I said if there is a direct object or if there is an indirect object in the sentence, then the verb is transitive. अगर एक भी object नहीं होगा, then the verb is intransitive. So what is over here?
Transitive.
Transitive. They dropped off. किसको drop किया? Dropped whom? Me. So me is indirect object. Indirect object and intransitive verbs don't mix up. We are doing two types of verbs, transitive and intransitive verbs. That is the topic's name. In that, if there is a direct object or indirect object, then it is transitive verb. But if there is no object in the sentence, then it is intransitive verb. So over here you can see the boy flew a kite. He likes cricket. She saved her money. Did you make coffee this morning? These are transitive verbs because everywhere you can get objects. Objects are given. So these are transitive verbs. Objects are given everywhere. See, the man killed what? The tiger. The boy flew what? A kite. See the last one. The thief stole what? The jewels. So all these are transitive verbs. Any doubt in this table, then you can ask me right now. All these are transitive verbs because objects are given. He likes what? Cricket. She saved what? Her money. Now this definition you have to write and also learn. The verb which shows the action that passes from subject to object is called transitive verb. See, these are intransitive. Sorry, these are also transitive, but objects are given which are indirect objects. There are two objects. My mother bought me a gift. So, what are the two objects in this sentence? Can you tell me what is direct object and what is indirect object? Be quick. What is direct and indirect object over here?
What is indirect?
Bought. वो तो verb है. See, it is highlighted. Which are the two objects of the verb bought? Which is the direct and which is the indirect object over here?
Me is indirect and gift is direct.
Very good. Mother bought what? Gift. वो direct object. And mother bought gift. Whom did she buy? किसके लिए? Whom? Me. So it is indirect. What is in the second one? Tell me the two objects in the second one.
Me is direct, indirect, and equation is direct.
Okay. Now tell me the last one. Which are the two objects?
The dog is indirect and the phone is direct.
Very good. So is anyone having any doubt over here? Two objects are there in these sentences. In the above 5 sentences, one is direct object and one is indirect object, like she gives the answers. So indirect object is mostly the person's name or any dog or any animal. Indirect object में living things आएंगे. Remember that. See, mother bought me a gift. Mother bought what? A gift. Whom did she buy? For whom? For me. So which are the two questions that you will ask and you will get direct object? For direct object, what is the question that you will ask?
What and whom?
Yes. What? For indirect object, for direct object, ask the question what? For indirect object, ask the question whom. See that you write this in your book. Read this and tell me if you have any doubt in the table, if you have any doubt in any of the sentence given in the table. You have to ask the question to the verbs. He asked what? A question. To whom did he ask? To me. Oh, indirect object. And which kind of verbs are these? Are these transitive verbs or intransitive verbs?
Transitive.
Transitive. What are intransitive verbs then? What is the meaning of intransitive verb?
There is no object.
There is no object. Okay. So today we keep till here. We understood the concept of transitive and intransitive, how to find out direct object and indirect object. Tomorrow, the next lecture means we'll continue with exercise 5. You have to pick out the transitive verbs and the objects. You have to find out direct and indirect objects. You have to tell me if the verb is transitive. First of all, you have to tell me the verbs. Then you have to tell me whether it is transitive, because all are transitive verbs over here. And you will tell me what is the direct and indirect object. So we shall continue with exercise 5 tomorrow. So thank you all of you.
Bye, sir.
Bye everyone. Take care and
Thank
be
you for coming
inside.
and have a nice day.